It's just loading.
Coming. Here we go. Are you going to introduce us, Juliet?
Hi! Welcome everybody to Witch Bitch, where we talk real tea. And today we have Renee on the show again. Super, super exciting. So when I was what to talk about, I was thinking about coming up because for me personally,
Yep.
connecting. I think she's still. Maybe she's just gone. Anyways, so I put the stick in the middle and I invite anyone about what you're feeling currently and how you're navigating the energies.
Absolutely.
Do you want to speak first?
Yeah. Having me on again, Juliet and Claudia. And I think you're now in even somewhere. um, the dense. Okay. As a little girl, I feel like energy. I don't know if I mentioned this last time. When I was 4, I feel like I got the shoulder. You've got a guardian angel watching over you, Renee. This is what I was told. Okay, so yeah, interesting. And it was almost like ever since then, there's been a lot of stuff that's happened to me. I went through a lot of. I think I might have mentioned that last time. I won't go into that detail. It's not necessary for the listeners, but just for people to know that even therapists go through things as well. And sometimes that's in work in the first place is they've often gone through something, and out the other side they're able to help others. So I feel like that's I went through the fire as a kid to be able to deal with now. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. It's the only thing that. And over the years, I've been to therapists, and one of the therapists I was talking to was basically telling me off at one stage that I should try and wipe. I think that's what's saving me right now, which is really interesting. So hypnotherapy and things like that can often, like wipe your memory, do different things. Maybe you could have a better life in inverted commas. That just felt not real to me ever, but also there was something stirring in me, almost like prophetic wise, before we anything that was going on around the world in the last couple of years, and those people who are talking about don't really need to go into that today, I don't think, but yes, I think I've talked to you about this, that there's all these people working with the shadow, but are they really working with the shadow? I mean, let's go there. Need to talk about in this space, which is huge, is this is new. This is even Bible prophecy. This is and my starting to stand on end. The hairs when I'm talking about this. This is the awakening of humanity. Not awakening of humanity. It's literally all these worlds crashing. You see it with the nature of the stock exchange and the Bitcoin exchanges and the crypto and all this. There's a lot of stuff going on in that, and then it's volatile. The markets, humanity is volatile. For years has been volatile for everyone, and then we've been locked in place. What's that about? What I know for sure is there's a dark energy. Keeping humans in place. My argument always is look at the other side of things. For a second, for us to say is right or wrong, which is interesting. To look at the polarities within yourself. So look at how much are you fighting what's happening, and how much are you accepting it? Because then we need to accept the grief, grief of the last few years. What therapists are going to be calling people to do. The who are to the unspoken. We need to speak to the unspoken. Because things are happening up here, but there's things going on under the surface. We need to talk about all of the harmed, and we talk about that in this, but I won't go there. We need to talk about all the people radicalized, let's put it that way. We need to talk about just, sheer and utter terror and trauma that has been forced throughout. This is not just fear anymore. Fear being realized. So the fear being realized it's absolutely for humanity as individuals. So there's a saying: what happens within happens without. So we can't nature, and nature can't be separated from us. And what's fingerprints, they're like if you cut a tree open, it's like what is inside of a tree, and there's all this kind of trying to morph humans into being non-natural when we are natural beings that are part of nature. And not God, anti-God stuff. This is human versus transhuman. This is human versus anything non-natural. And if I can just go to something I think you guys probably have touched on and said anything about this, but I think the hunts of the past are where it was lost.
Yeah.
And witches were the prophets of the past. That's what I believe. And we've never talked about this as humanity, right? That normal women who were practicing empathy, therapy, were the witches of the past. And recently, by someone in the movement, I was accused. Don't ever that. Feel the energy, and you've got things like, so there's research that the heart math. We need that in this space, this kind of rich space, but also Christian spaces, in other spaces that are in this. We need to talk about, and we need to talk about how our interconnected and why we're on feelings and felt sense, and that's what the shadow is, the feeling and felt sense, which is in the voice. And this is what's not being talked about throughout the world. We are not terrorists. We are, anti-vaxxers. We are not any of those things. In fact, we are just people. A voice of reason against things that are unreasonable. Unreasonable. Yes. This is, if nation, can we actually question people who are in power? Are we actually to question them in power anymore? Otherwise, there's fascism, communism, digital fascism, digital totalitarianism. And I'm saying these words like everywhere now, and who's listening? And then I see an article in the ABC talking about. Sorry, I missed that.
They're very happy because they don't want to face it. That's what people.
Exactly.
When you bury
Your head in the sand, you go further and deeper into this. I mean, what have you heard about MAID? MAI?
No.
It's young people's assisted dying if they have depression. What the heck is that about?
Really?
Okay. Doctors assisting young people if they have to assist their dying, if they're suicidal.
Yeah.
I've heard of a couple of cases, but it's happening more in America, but it's coming here soon.
Wow. Wow, Renee.
Yeah, you need to be on this as a young person and helping your young people counterparts on this stuff, right? We need to. It's not just about fighting back; it's about giving back. That's the difference, and I think that's where we've lost our way too. We need to be of service to humanity now. We need to be helping to help heal their hearts, and that's where depression is. When you have, essentially speaking, when you have a lack of freedom, a, a lack of connection, and a lack of life, you will be suicidal.
Yeah.
If we create connection, if we create more connection, if we create all these kinds of things, then people actually feel better. When we have each other's back.
Yeah.
Yes, I love this.
Getting to this point where I have to call this stuff out.
And I communal space. It's really proven to me the power of giving and taking and giving and receiving.
Yep.
For example, this morning there was it was someone's birthday. They were making pancakes, and on my way out, road, and so I just had extra breakfast. And the previous day before that, my bread, which is something about communal living, but it created this beautiful reality where, yes, my bread was stolen. Like, oh no, someone stole my bread. And then someone bought me a new loaf of bread, and then I just shared it around with
Wow.
a huge thing of love spread
Yes.
around. It was just so beautiful.
That's right. Oh. And so the more we give, the more we can receive. But actually, I love Renee Brown's work in this capacity. The more we ask for help, the worthy we are, which is fascinating. It's fascinating. So we have been led to believe asking for help is weak, even though you've got a mental health issue, seek support. But there's the mixed message about if you need someone too much, you must have a mental health issue. But actually, there's an argument true at all. That's not true at all, and that the more we feel better, and that's how things were in the past. We know this instinctively in our bodies. We know it. We've been led to individualize ourselves much, and then we've become ego, narcissists, all the rest of it. Narcissism would end within the next couple of years if we all had each other's back.
I believe that. Yeah.
And most mental illness die down to.
Renee, I want to know that what's happening in the world right, the dense energies that we're feeling and the squishing, and we're all preparing us to have each other's backs. Where it's like a choice of world and be part of humanity, or myself and be selfish and base. I think that people who are choosing to be selfish and be alone,
Yep.
as the people who stick together.
Exactly. And held this route, because I kind of follow my psychic guidance. I've been propelled this route for the last 20 years. 12 to 14 years. It's been I got downloads that have microchips in them by about this time. Or around the start of the rollout that we won't talk about. We need to talk this stuff. Humans are not meant to be machines. We are a machine in our actually a sovereign living entity being. We're born as sovereign beings. We're meant to die as not being controlled by the grid or AI. And if we want to go to dense energy, this is heavy stuff. But a lot of people, Satan and satanic energy and blood, which is kind of often what the witches of the world have been. Energy itself actually, and that's why they're pushing it, is they're actually steal good people's energy from the group. That's what they're trying to do. So we need to protect our energy. That's what I do every day. Energy in this grid, even like now. Yeah. So that's something that I work on every single day. Energetically protect myself. To be talking about this is Christian, Muslim, doesn't matter what you believe in, you need to protect your energy. Because the Heart Math Institute has proven this to be real. Same with people like Joe Dispenza, DeMartini, all these kinds of people have, like Bruce Lipton's work. We can prove beyond a reasonable doubt we have auric fields. So if we've got auras and auric fields around us, are 1.5 meters. Why did they do social distancing to 1.5 meters? This is stuff that I haven't in this kind of space either. We need to talk about auric energy protection of each other, have for an energetic almost life of human. We need energetic protection meditations. I'm going to run that if anyone wants me to run it. I'm going to do that. Practicing, I've got my own self practice. I work on myself, so you can't yourself. So with this, and we need to be sure that we are protecting our, because actually that's the issue, is our hearts have been broken because of it. And if we heartbreak, if we do not acknowledge the heart, we may as well not be here. That's what, and this, when the ABC brings out an article that read that, oh yeah, awesome, when ASIO is going to get anti-vaccinating, really, and then ASIO is going to target also anyone who calls themselves an anti-vaxxer, or monitor out. That basically is saying anyone in government who says anything bad about the public, that's a witch hunt. If I ever did
I'm screwed. I'm screwed.
this is why I'm sharing. We are talking witch hunts now.
Yeah.
We need to call it from the other side, from our side. On this, I don't claim to be a witch. Okay, so just putting that out there. But I sit on almost both sides of the energetic fence. Christianity almost meeting kind of natural being, and I think I kind of those two fences. But I think it's really important to kind of acknowledge the natural, because they want the unnatural to push through. I just want to talk dense energy from last night, just as a really good example. I went to this dance performance, and so sometimes I get a chance to, like, people ask me to do things, and go, one of the women I mentored is and training and teaching kids to adults. I went to see their performance last night from Wollongong to Sydney, and it was in a particular area. It was in a particular area, and let me tell you, all satanistic. And I won't say the other word, but it starts with M. It's all satanistic and something starting with an M. And there are famous people here and this, that, there. It's like, what is going on? It was for me to get in. It's easy to get in. It's energy. Woo!
Yeah.
So it took me an hour to get out. It was like a grid already. It took me an hour to get in. It's no time to get in, and then so now I'm up. Then it was 2 hours to get back, because it was an energetic force field. I can't even explain. It felt so dark. People, Sydney has fallen.
Yeah.
Melbourne has fallen. Yeah. Huge amounts of deep, dark energies. This is my theory. The only way here now.
Yeah, right.
We need to get the positive energy back. That's where the hope is. But we need to gather.
Yeah.
Just because we doesn't have to be a protest. We need to gather because we each other, and we're coming from the heart. There is nothing wrong with coming from the heart. There is nothing. There's no opposite from that. I think spiritually speaking, I often say the opposite. Love is fear, and they've been pushed. So we need more love. So universal love is the opposite. We need to work with universal love. Universal love is like God love is, spiritual love is natural love. It doesn't matter like what you want to call these things, whether you're Christian, Muslim, Jewish, whatever. It doesn't matter. Natural being and a natural state of being. That's where we come from. We come from the natural way. And if we so far away from nature, and they're pushing so far, the powers that be, and that's the energetic and dark happening. And I was just so sometimes I'm whether it's Christian stuff, whether it's spiritual stuff, I'm just going to figure out the energetic ones. These guys are only from a couple of days ago. and he was talking about, the dark forces. This Christian pastor, he was talking about the dark forces coming in, and what he was also talking about, supposedly 17 dates that have been named that we are all going to need to be concerned about, because supposedly of the world, people have actually not shared with us asteroid events and other events like it this coming year in 2023 on so there's probably going to be 18 events and 17 dates that we'll need to be aware of. And I think we need to take, because I think that there's a timing of everything, because that's what
Yeah, right.
be
So how do
almost
we,
well, what if we can't? But that's what I'm saying. And how do we prepare for
The thing
that?
about this these asteroid disasters is that, so okay, fun fact everyone, we actually go through this meteor stream called the Taurid meteor stream twice a year. It's basically walking on a minefield.
Oh,
Like, we could be hit anytime, and it's kind of crazy that no one talks. We could have put in place to prevent, like, NASA, there's ways that we could have, like, missiles. Meteor or asteroid impacts, and a special way where it will, like, knock it out of the way and rebound it to go somewhere else.
Yep.
Basically the idea, but like the funding for this sort of work to be done, it just hasn't been there, and that's on purpose. That's completely with that. It's been like no funding for outcome of asteroid prevention, and it's actually insane, especially considering meteor stream like twice. It's like all these thousands upon thousands travel through and hope, oh, we're going to do it again, let's stop thinking. Nothing hits us. So surprised by what you're saying, Renee, with this players. It's actually been a risk for, as long as you just don't talk about it.
And then what if we look at the Bible, and what the Bible is that, and this is interesting probably for you guys to not kind of this, but what if we really are at those end times? Sometimes talk about the rapture. Rapture is not exactly how it's in the Bible. Okay? What if the rapture is all about us? This is what. But we seriously, really seriously, what if it's actually about us, or rather than competing in business like our competitors try to copy me and all that, instead of saying work with, we need to work with, yeah, okay, happy to run things for humanity, honestly, because isn't it better we're all alive than dead? Anyone thought about this? Can be a reasonable doubt this is where we need to talk about this energy-wise. Is the powers that even know this, which is why they're trying to lock down, yeah? Is when we are creating, we are way because the positive influence moving up to literally almost reaches us to the heaven. Maybe that's the rapture.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean that we will, I don't think it necessarily means that we will perish. My philosophy, what if, this is a narrative approach, what if we can rewrite history for ourselves? We just have to choose to take the leap, right? Choose to take the faith, this is huge stuff, is we have to then believe, all of us have to believe that we do a mindfulness or imaginative process and actually run it throughout the whole world. I've heard of people, but we need to be global. It needs to be global, like a little bit global, like it needs to be shared. It needs to be people awakening. It needs to be people waking up. It needs to be everyone just raised the spirit.
Yeah.
Because human spirit is still there. We are not dead yet. But according to a lot of research, Joe Dispenza's work, Bruce Lipton's work, DeMartini's work, if you raise the vibration, wars stop. Things stop. I don't know this information. This is the information that's been held down, right? So this is what's positive. We need to do it, not just a little collective. We need to be doing it as a major human and pushing out. It can be prayer mixed with collective meditation mixed with whatever it is, but just doing this here, doing that. According to the Bible, this is kind of serious to me. I've got to run in a minute. Christ is, and Christ is coming. And one rock gets rolled out. That's a can be Christ, whether it's a person or not. It can just keep running and control. But part of our work is there's a lot of, but we need to get people working like yesterday. Like, so we need to talk about this. I've been thinking about this more and more and more, and every time it's just like, I don't want to be running it myself. As a collective, we need to gather as to do this stuff. It can't just be like, so just like the Antichrist. It Claudia's thing or Juliet's thing, so it needs to be a I've been told this directly from people who study the Bible, is according to legend, women of Zion save the world. That's the secret. It's not known. The spiritual women walk down sexuality because they know the spiritual literally raise the dead and raise the living, and spiritual women need to fight back, but not in a fight. Instead, the peaceful warriors.
Yeah, standing in our power. Yeah. Wow, Renee, thank you for joining us today and for all your wisdom and this message. Like, it's so important for this information to get out there.
Yeah. Having me, and I have to apologise about my lack of time today, but thank you for having me, and thanks to
beautiful.
Yeah. So yes, thank you. Thanks for having me again. And, season and all that. We need to have others backs.
Yes, we do, and we'll see you next year. We'll have you on again next year, and we'll talk about this again. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be a big year. We're gonna have to be raising this. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Renee. Mwah. Love your guts.
Thank you,
See ya.
guys.
Wow, Juliet, that was huge.
Thank you so much. All right, bye everyone.